stuff. I've done my Christmas shopping. Very fun this year. Very exciting stuff. Like preparing for the end of the world. Oh god, there's so much stuff. Okay. Yeah. I just went for a run, and on the way back I bought all this, and this is this year's Christmas shopping. I'm gonna probably tidy this away because it doesn't look very nice. Just be right back. It's 10:23, which means that right now, just about right now, I should be on a plane to Germany, which I booked ages ago, but 2 days ago I got a notification, or 2 days ago there was an announcement from the German government that they won't be letting in people from the UK anymore because of the new strain of the coronavirus. And then yesterday morning I had the notification that EasyJet cancelled the flights, which is good. I mean, I'm glad that they don't spread the virus, the new strain, anymore. They have to do that. I think that's a very good thing to do, but it also means that now we are, with 2 days notice, celebrating Christmas in the UK by hoarding lots of food that won't go off easily, which is different. Yeah, it's kind of scary. They said that they already advised to buy quite a lot of sort of like basic household items before Brexit, because I don't know how things are going to go at the border, in case Brexit goes badly and there's a bad deal or no deal. And now all the borders are completely closed between France and the UK, or anywhere in the UK really. There are huge queues of lorries and trucks at the UK border. Truck drivers are sleeping in their trucks, have been sleeping in the trucks for 2 days now because they can't drive their trucks into the UK from France. So basically the UK is literally like cut off from supply, food supply, any supply, sort of anything from Europe. And therefore I'm buying all these exciting Christmas prep things. And we're gonna be here for Christmas, which is kind of sad. The UK government has been pretty much the worst government, I would say, in Europe at handling the crisis. Well, Sweden was up there, but they just change the rules every single day. You never know what's allowed and what isn't. Scotland is a bit better than the rest of the UK. Nicola Sturgeon, the Prime Minister of Scotland, the First Minister of Scotland, is much better than Boris Johnson in England. She's a lot stricter. And actually a lot of the new things Boris Johnson introduces are stolen from Nicola Sturgeon, but bottom line is you never really know who you're allowed to meet and who not. What's going on, which level, which tier your area is in. You're not allowed to move between tiers. It's just absurd. I think, like, basically what they're doing is it's good. They should stop people from seeing other people because this is what's spreading the virus. They're just not doing enough, I think, because you're still allowed to meet people, up to 6 people, I think, from 2 different households outdoors. You're not supposed to meet anyone indoors. but I don't think that most people sort of stick to this. They actually adhere to it. The place where we were staying before we moved to this flat, there was a party there, and 2 drunk girls walked into our room in the middle of the night. So yeah, I don't think that it's actually, that people are actually following the rules enough. And that's one thing. And yeah, the other thing is the rules are just not strict enough. And that's because European governments, they just don't really have enough power to say you are not allowed to leave the house, you are not allowed to meet other people. So they can only really sort of forbid fun things and hope that people don't go out then. But this is not what happens. People will then just go out and drink in the streets, or drink in the park and have parties in the middle of the Meadows Walk and stuff like that. So that's the reality. Is so, for instance, in Germany now, the rule is that you're not allowed to leave the house after 9 p.m. and before 7 a.m. I think. And my dad phoned me, and he's very annoyed about all of this, and he was like, Judith, what's this? Why are people not allowed to leave the house after 9 p.m? Is the virus more contagious after 9 p.m? And I said, no, Dad, it's just people after 9 p.m. are more likely to have fun, or want to meet people in a sociable setting. You're not meeting your neighbor for a quick catch up and to see how things are going after 9 p.m. You're actually wanting to go out and have fun. And that's what they're trying to do. So you're not allowed to go out after 9 p.m. now in the UK for a long time now, and in Germany just shortly, you're not allowed to drink. In the UK, you are allowed to drink, but you're not allowed to drink in pubs. So bars, cafes and so on, there's no alcohol in bars and cafes again. So they're trying to make being out and meeting people less fun and less attractive, so people stay in more. Which is basically all they can do in the West. That's they can't say you're not allowed to meet anyone, and you're not allowed to leave your flat at all. People would go crazy. Already there's so many demonstrations and people, anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers, going on huge demonstrations without their masks, and just having these ridiculous. I saw in Munich this summer, I saw this huge demonstration of people in the city center where they were all dressed in black, like you do for funerals in Germany, and they were all dressed in black and hold these placards, and it says Trauermarsch für die Demokratie. So it's mourning the death of democracy. That's sort of their take on it, which is just so infuriating. Because what kind of ideal is this of a democracy where you still have the right to do everything you want without caring about the weakest members of society, like elderly people who are have diabetes, are immunocompromised in any kind of way? Just because you want to insist on your right to go out and drink with your mates, you don't care about all of these other people. So it's just so annoying. It's got nothing to do with democracy. It's just about people being used to getting their way and not being told what to do, and not being told to be considerate to others. Which, is so... It's so frustrating for me in particular to see. I still have so many friends in China, and also Chinese friends here, and they just seem to struggle a lot less with the idea of giving up your personal freedom so that others can be safe and can have their freedom to just live. So you give up a certain amount of time where you can't have fun, socialize, whatever, and then make that sacrifice and make it better in the future. And that's what happened in China and in other Asian nations. And that's partly because obviously the Chinese system of government is much more powerful than Western government in that way. They can have these rules, and they can actually implement these rules, which Western government can't. But also, it's because Chinese people are much more willing to actually adhere to these rules. If the Chinese people had all decided that they don't want to do this, obviously nobody could have implemented this, but they are much more reasonable and understand that this is necessary now, which nobody here seems to get, and which is why we're sitting here celebrating Christmas with 15 boxes of like tins of fish and the cheapest orange juice and endless supplies of toilet roll. Yeah, just because people can't, just for a short period of time, say, okay, just for now, it'll be hard and it'll be better then. But yeah, well done, China. Yeah. Merry Christmas.谢谢大家看我的视频，请点赞、关注和转发。